All right, so you guys got an interesting reading here. The Two of Swords is the underlying energy. Excuse me. Underneath that, you have the Five of Cups. So, excuse me. A difficult decision that you have to make, and I feel like for some of you guys, wow, this is interesting. The challenge is the High Priestess and crossed by the Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Cups. So, straight off the gate, like, this is obviously talking about making a decision about what it is that you want. And I feel like for some of you, you guys know what you want already. Okay, I think the illusion is that you don't. You're not sure if you have if any of those dreams or any of those desires, the things that you want, can actually come true. I think that's most of those things, right? That's really the big dilemma, is if it's just a dream, right? If it's just a pipe dream. Because you have the Two of Swords, like, you know what it is that you want. It's about the execution of it, going after it and making it happen. And right now, the High Priestess is saying that you already know what's going on. You already know what you want. What's crossing is the Seven of Cups. There's a lot of options and lots of ways of going about it. But the situation is this: like, you know what it is that you want already. I think it's not fantasy to you, really. It is your reality. You know what you want, because the Nine of Cups says that you know what you want. The Nine of Cups in your past is definitely highlighting to me that you guys already knew what it is that you wanted. You're very clear on what it is that your heart's content on, you know. Excuse me. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, you may have gotten, you may have gone through a period where you know it was difficult to kind of figure it out at first, but I feel you know what it is that you want now. I don't know why the Seven of Cups is what's crossing you guys. I think that's because there's a lot of ways about going about doing that, or going about having what it is that you want, or maybe having an idea of what it is that you want in a relationship, career, lifestyle, what have you. There's lots of avenues in which to pursue it, and I feel like right now, right now, it's all about the decision. Everything is about focusing on the decision that you need to make. Because right after making this decision, there's action that needs to be taking place. Okay? Like, there is something here for you guys. But it's all about accepting it and just going after it. Now, like I said before, right? It's all about the options that you have available. I think you have plenty. And it's just deciding which one is more realistic, what option, what avenue, what direction, and how do you get there is very, you have to figure out where you're going, right? And I feel like either way, any of those options, they have no guarantee. Right, the Page of Pentacles came out beforehand, and that in itself is somewhat of a guarantee. And I feel like right now it's about making it a path without going about it. Well, it's about taking an opportunity without having a solid guarantee. Just trusting that the connection that you have for each other will be there to kind of build the relationship forward, to make something happen. Interestingly enough, you have your goal and ambition, the Devil. Now, I'm going to go ahead and clarify that because I'm not quite sure of what the Devil is here for you guys. I mean, there's a lot of definitions for that, but I'm like, what? Okay. Five of Pentacles and the King and the Knight of Cups that came out. So the Devil's coming out because of you feeling left out in the cold. Something lacking, and it has to do with romance. Now, I feel like you guys, so for some of you guys, it may be just time to, it's like getting the romanticness kind of started again. It's kind of like, it's kind of hard right now. Why is the High Priestess in the heart of the reading? Excuse me, guys. I have some serious allergies because of the Seven of Cups. Well, okay then. The reason why you have the challenge, the reason why you have the High Priestess is because of your blockage, is because of the many different options that you've got going on. The fantasy. The High Priestess is very focused on the subconscious. She's very passive in the sense of she receives information rather than goes out and gets it. She waits for the information to come to her. And I do feel like, for a lot of you guys, I feel like you guys know that a lot of your dreams may just be fantasy, but at the same time, I don't think you just squander them down. I think this is about changing your focus from what is fantasy to what can be a reality. But the situation with your goal and ambition is very interesting to me, because the devil would indicate that you may want to feel out, like you have more control, more power to bring something into fruition. Because right now you're feeling like you don't have enough, or there's something that's lacking, that's keeping you from being able to have these dreams and go after what it is that you want. To be absolutely focused and obsessed with your love, right? I don't know if you're obsessed with love or not, but more so that you go after what it is that you feel most inclined to be attracted to. You know what I'm trying to say. Basically, what I'm trying, hopefully I'm making sense with this, but you want to feel like you have more power. And have more, of an influence on what your dreams are, so you can have the ideal relationship that you're looking for. Because right now everything seems like it's a pipe dream, which makes it, but I don't think it's a pipe dream. I think there is a reality to it. I think there is a realistic approach to it that you can obtain. And I feel like this has a lot to do with bringing the romance back. For some of you guys, you don't necessarily know what the other person's situation is, but you're trying to bring the romantic energy back. Some of you guys, you know what you want, you know who you want, and it's just about making it happen. And I feel like this lovers connection and the devil, those two are the same side of the two sides of the different coin, of the same two sides of the same coin. You know what I mean? So that pretty much means to me that you guys have some sort of connection with you and this person, and it's just about making it reality. And it feels like something's lacking between you and this other person to make that romantic energy, click. Now, the Two of Wands' decision is a very big burden for you guys, because you have in your outcome the Ten of Wands. Okay, you have the Ten of Wands as your outcome. So you guys do see this decision making as a great burden for you guys. You have to consider your responsibilities and things like that. You got a lot going on. And I feel like with the Ten of Wands here being there, I feel like for a lot of you guys, maybe this decision about what you guys are going to do with the Six of Cups, rather, is the most difficult. But the decision making will be easier if it wasn't so confusing. I feel like for a lot of you guys, you're dealing with a lot of confusing ass energy. That's at the same time. I think but you're also confused. Because the Seven of Cups is uncertainty, it's confusion, it's fantasy. I feel like there's a lot of stuff like that going on. And I feel like it's honestly, I don't necessarily believe it's necessarily confusion. I think it's just more like, this is a fantasy, this is a dream, and it's about taking a realistic approach to it, just going about making that dream come true for you in any way possible. Not necessarily in a ruthless way, but going and making steps that doesn't necessarily guarantee anything. Just going with it, enjoying it, being in the moment. I feel like at the same time, this is deciding what you want as well. I think you know what you want, but it's like, what opportunity are you willing to go ahead and accept? Or what offer maybe, because I think somebody gave you an offer, and it's about deciding whether or not what to do with that offer. Because this could be like this offer is a burden, because it's also asking you to take action in a certain direction that you're not sure of yourself right now. But either way, it's leading to the Lovers. Now, in your outcome, you have the Hangman, which talks about being stuck and not moving. It's like a limbo. That's a very interesting card to get here in your outcome. And I feel like with this being here, it's really just talking about how with this situation going on, not making a decision, it could put you in a situation where you feel like there's not a lot of progress. There's nothing actually moving. Everything's stagnant. And it's only because you haven't made a decision. Now, I feel like for a lot of you guys, you have to see these options, see these opportunities in a different light, in a different angle, with a different perspective, from a different perspective, right? Because right now, all you see this is you see this as a dream. It's a pipe dream, something that's not real. And I feel like there is something real about this. If this is something you really want, which I don't know, you know what you wanted in the past, and I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's just about making a decision about where you're going with it. You know, I just don't understand. Like, one of the things is this that's bugging me the most is like, you know what you want, I think, anyway, with the Nine of Cups. And it's just about going in the direction that you feel the most led. You know, it's trusting your heart to go down that road. You know, I think you choose love or something like that, but this is not a choice. The love is not a choice. I think it's more so to more than anything execution. Because what I say about the Two of Swords all the time, the Two of Swords comes up not as the difficulty to make the decision, but rather to execute that decision, to take action on that decision. Right? There's no difficulty with the Two of Wands. You're stuck at a crossroads. There's plenty of options, plenty of different ways you could do something. If you don't like one direction, you can always turn around and do, you know, go back and, you know, do it the other way. But the Two of Swords is about executing it. It's the execution of that action, of that decision. It's saying, you know what, this is where I'm deciding, I'm going to stick with it. You know? This is why there's there's not a lot of looking at some things now, not really seeing the situation clearly, or not seeing the situation at all, just keeping the balance. Okay, and I feel like it has to do with this fantasy situation that you got going on here, dreams, desires, offers, whatever you got going on. This offer here, it's like, you know what you're going to do with it. You actually know what you want. It's not. You're not sure of what it is that you want. You're very clear on what it is that you want already. It's just about making it, just going for it, instead of, you know, just kind of waiting for and seeing and, you know, just kind of waiting more information. I feel like you have all the information that you need, because I don't think anything's going to change your mind about what it is that you want. Two of Swords. Just saying. Let's go ahead and take a look at your romance angels for the next couple weeks. See what you guys got. I feel like also, guys, it's looking through and paying really close attention to the details, and it's very weird. I don't really get this for you guys a lot, because you guys don't typically do this, you know, which is pursue something that looks nice in the forefront. And I feel like, you know, obviously you guys are good at looking at details. Page of Pentacles talks about looking very closely at the details, and Seven of Cups is like, everything looks really nice and cool on the outside, but you know there's something deeper to it. So take your time with it as well, right? So don't feel like you have to rush or anything. But let's see what's going on with your romance angels this week, the next couple weeks, if I can say it right, God. All right, you got two cards in here. So this could be the one, and your soulmate. Yeah, this person, I feel like, yeah, you already know who this person is for you. This person is definitely for you, and it looks like it is, like, just by the way it's coming out, calling in your soulmate. This could be the one. Like, these two are just, excuse me, guys, these two are just pretty much saying that you are in a relationship with this person, and you have feelings for this individual, as well as, you know, this person is yours. Look at that. This person could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek, and calling in your soulmate, which is your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. And now it's all about taking the action and just going ahead and accepting that. I don't know what else you guys are looking for, but because this person is yours. I really do feel like this person is yours right now. Okay. Sorry, I have some allergies going on here. It's just kicking up. I don't know why. But anyway, let me go ahead and take a look at your messenger of the oracle for the next couple weeks as well. See what's going on. There's no wrong decision. There's no wrong decision. Okay, you guys got two cards here: trust in magic and nourish all you love. And I was just taking, actually, the nourish all you love card came up for Aquarius. Nourish all you love pretty much talks about focusing on everything that you love. Pay attention to that. Build it, grow it, do whatever you need to do, but focus on what it is that you love, right? Don't focus on anything else. Like, if you love your relationship, focus on building that. If you love the people that you're around, focus on nurturing that. But, you know, like, don't be a codependent person and, you know, delve in their business, but more so just show that you care, you know, in a way. Do what you want to do when you want to do it. Love who you want to love when you feel like loving them, okay? Now you also have trust in magic. Now this is interesting in itself too, because you have two sevens in here. And Both of those sevens are the cups. So that, in a way, it's kind of magic. And trusting in magic is saying that just trust in yourself, trust in the universe, trust in God, trust in whoever you believe your, the higher, your higher ups are, your divine energy, wherever you feel you get your energy from. Trust in that right now, because knowing what you want is one thing, believing that you can go out and get it is another, and then truly trusting that it will turn out to be okay is a totally another thing in itself too. And I feel like right now you just have to trust right now, because the high priestess, is trust in her higher self, trust in her subconscious to get her the information that she needs to make whatever decision she needs to make. And right now, this is one of those times you have to trust in yourself, trust in the higher self, because right now I feel like trust in yourself. If you really want this relationship to work out, if you know who this person is for you and you really want to pursue them, trust that it will work out, trust that it will be in your favor, trust that you will do everything in your power that's reasonable and not crazy to make it work. You have the Lovers in your future. That's not a breakup card. Okay, I feel like this person, you get this feeling this person may be too good to be true, which is why you're hesitating on making the decision in the first place. And I don't think that they are. I think Virgo, you always, I don't know if you've always questioned yourself or not, but you were very thorough and stuff already. If you know this person is yours, they are yours. Go for them.